How's it going, YouTube? It's your boy VG Time. I'm here not too long after finishing this night of tournament in the Upper Hand Circuit. If you don't know about the Upper Hand Circuit, it's a great opportunity for those of you who may want a webcam locals. Their locals not firing anymore, things like that. I'll leave a link down in the description to the Facebook group so that you can know where to sign up at. Right now, the circuit is almost at the end for this season. I'm fairly certain another season is coming because we get great turnouts every week. So check that out. So anyway, this week I went 2-1. It's 3-round tournament, and I was actually quite happy with the results. I am playing the homie Shenron. So we're gonna go over what variant of Shenron I'm playing because seeing Shenron doesn't tell you what kind of deck it really is. And that's kind of great for a format like we had. The format is using the FES rules as far as the presiding before the best of one game. So having a leader that can be built in multiple different ways kind of causes confusion in that type of format, right? So like for instance, if you're playing a yellow sand leader, you know to look out for yellow good stuff cards. But with Shenron, who knows what someone has. So let's just go to the deck, and I'm just going to go over card by card choice. And then at the end of the video, if you want to, I'll show you an example of the gameplay of the deck. So here we are with the Shenron leader. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know what he does, but I'm just going to do a quick recap for those who are not aware, because he hasn't been in the meta in a very long time. So basically, you could switch on the rest mode to search for 2 Dragon Balls. You have a total of 7 that you can have in the deck. Once you have 7 Dragon Balls in a drop, you're allowed to wish, which is this kind of deck's version of Awaken. When you do wish, you're allowed to grab a desire from your drop area and add it back to your hand. That effect doesn't come up a lot in this version of Shenron. It used to come up all the time in the older versions of Shenron. But anyway, on the back, he can attack, and this is the same thing as the case on the front side as well. He can attack. But on the back, you're able to use one of his abilities once per turn, which is to either draw a card, activate a desire with energy cost equal to or less than your current energy for free, or you could activate his ultimate effect, which allows you to banish 7 Dragon Balls from your drop area, like remove them straight from the game, to get one of your battle cards plus 10k and triple attack. So there's a lot of very strong things going on with this leader. And because of how generic it is, it allows you to fit a variety of engines. So first we're going to start with the Dragon Balls. It's very simple, very straightforward. We're running 7 Dragon Balls. The main reason being is that we're looking for very specific pieces to our deck. And we also don't want to be in a situation where we have to use energy in order to get these Dragon Balls into the drop. The Dragon Balls themselves just simply draw a card. That's all we really need. Now we get into the core engine. For those that viewed it, you get what's going on here. I'm just going to do a quick explanation of them. So we're going to start with our Catapezla 1-drop. Yes, we are playing Catapezla in this deck because the big guy synergizes really well with the Shenron leader. So this one searches top 7, adds a U3 to your hand. Very important for consistency. Then they released a new card in Battle Evolution that allows you to, when you play it, grab a Catapezla piece from your drop area and add it back to your hand. And then if you have 4 more energy, you could pay 2 to basically activate the evolved skills of the Catapezlas for the turn without paying the energy cost. So Catapezla Universe 3 Policeman for this one, Catapezla Modular Mastery for this one. Next up, we have 4 copies of Catapezla Sonic Justice. This guy right here has barrier and dual attack. You could evolve it for 1 on top of either 1-drop. When you do so, he also has an auto that says when your opponent attacks with a battle card with cost 4 or less, you may pay 1 to negate that attack. Then we go to the next step in the chain. We play 4 copies of Catapesla Righteous Fury. This guy right here, when you evolve on top of the 4-drop for 2 energy, allows you to warp one of your opponent's battle cards or draw a card. He has double strike and crit, so he puts a lot of pressure on the turn that you play him. And then, of course, we have 4 of Catapesla Envoy of Justice. Now, do you necessarily need 4 of everything? Probably not, but I like ultimate levels of consistency when I'm trying to do something like this. But basically, this guy has all the abilities that the other guys have as far as keywords. So he has the barrier, the dual attack, the double strike, and the crit. That makes him a house. When you evolve him for 1 on top of this guy, he is switched back to active mode. So that allows you to attack with him, apply this double strike crit pressure to your opponent, make him, he restands, and then you have 2 more swings with him. Now the secret is, if you restand him, swing, and he restands, you could then activate the leader's ability to give him plus 10k and triple attack, and then you get 3 more swings. Next up, we have our ultimate, which is Pan Time Patrol Maiden. Sometimes, your opponent does something to prevent 1 damage, like they'd use a Sparking Negate or something like that, and you can bring them down to 1 life. Well, you make a plan for free, you swing for the 40, you try to end their life. Sometimes also your opponent stops you from killing them in some way. Maybe they had just enough combo power or something, which is kind of hard for that to actually be the case here. You have the pan to help to keep you alive so you could get to the next turn, and they have to deal with at least 2 more swings, if not you making this guy and then making another Catapesla chain and then swinging twice more. Super combo for Toa. It could actually be a lot of different super combos. I chose this one because I like super combos as always 0-10k for situations where you might need a combo before the combo requirement comes up. You can also run the Vegeta if you believe that you're going to get down to 4 or less life. If so, perfectly fine. But this is the one I went for. Now we're going to go into our utility battle cards, and then we're going to go into the extra card that allows this whole deck to come together. So the only real utility battle cards we have is 4 copies of Supreme Kai of Time, Guardian of Space-Time. This right here is basically super combo or Toa number 5 through 8. So when you're comboing for game to make sure that this guy gets through, you're going to get numbers that your opponent can't possibly reach, especially since you haven't been giving them cards off their life. Another utility extra battle card that we play is 1 copy of Kami. Kami is for situations where your opponent came out the gate really fast. So you just really need to stifle what they're doing, or to be able to deal with something like a Lord Slug and like a Poutine, right? This guy, when you play him, you draw a card. Of course, if Slug and Poutine is out there, that doesn't happen. But then you could pay 2 if your opponent has 4 or more battle cards to blow up their board. Totally worth it, just to get you into a place where you could possibly set up for the combo again. Now, to help out with that as well, we do play 1 Desire in the deck, which is 2 copies of Divine Favor. Divine Favor has the ability to basically choose a battle card with cost 3 or less, ignoring barrier, and send it to the warp. With the leader ability, you can play it for free. So if they took their own life or something along that nature, just this right here represents 6 damage. Even if they didn't, This right here represents 6 damage, and then you can just put them in a position where they have to be very careful what they do on the following turn. No, let's just go into the card that just makes the whole deck even playable. It was already kind of playable, but now it's super consistent. And that is 4 copies of Raging Transformation. This is a tournament pack promo. It's holding up a lot of people's coffee tables right now. It's really, price-wise, I think they're like 25 cents a piece. But this card is amazing for everything that it does. So you're able to, as an activate main, pay 1, because that's what the cost of the card is, to play one of your Catapezlas from your deck directly into play, the 1-drops. So this gives you ultra levels of consistency, since now you have technically 11 1-drops. It also allows you to mulligan differently. So if you have one of these and one of these in hand, you can put it back, hopefully get a different card, and then use this to put this out the deck. It has an auto that's limit 1, and God help you if it wasn't. That allows you, when you evolve, to send this card as well carding your hand to the warp. And by doing so, you're able to get the 1 piece of the rest of your chain. So it helps us to add to the consistency yet again. Then we have 2 copies of Playtime's Over. This right here allows you to negate an attack and then put a 1-drop into play from your drop area. This is pretty important because it allows you, it does put it into play with the skills negated, but basically it allows you to reset your Catapezlas. So let's say your opponent is able to kill it before you really get a chance to get going. You can negate an attack, put this into play, or put this into play, and then keep it going. But it does any 1-drop technically. So you could also negate, put a Kami into play, or negate and put a Kai into play. But again, remember their skills are negated. So you just have to have them stay alive until your next turn. 4 copies of Power Burst. Again, adds to consistency. Also gives you a little bit of defense. You can negate, get back a Kai, you can negate, get back a combo piece, negate, get back Kami. All in the effort to be able to address the situation at hand. And then 2 copies of Super Kamehameha. One of the things that give you a little bit of an issue are heavy floodgate cards. So the ability to possibly negate that topo, even though topo isn't nearly as big of a deal for this deck, well, negate that repulse, because repulse is a big deal. To be able to stop basically Oceanus or something that will actually put a hard stop to what you're doing. This will give you at least the opportunity to stop it. So this is the 50 card deck. Following this, you're going to be seeing some gameplay. It should only be a couple of minutes long because the game was pretty fast, and you give you a good idea of what's going on. If you want to, just screenshot this and you'll be able to see exactly what I played. And I'll catch you again next time. VG Time signing out. Alrighty, so here we are. We are playing against Green Broly BR. It's kind of hard to tell because he has something covering the leader. Your typical build, he uses his first turn to get his green Broly 1-drop and to reduce his life total down to 6, which is fine for us because the less life they have, the less amount of swings, or the better the amount of swings that we have value. So he puts himself down to 6, and it comes back to me, and I do a pretty good job of disguising what exactly it is I'm playing. So right here, I know I started with 2 Dragon Balls in hand. I take 1 from life, and I'm going to take 1 from the deck. And I'm not going to play my 1-drop yet. The reason being is, again, I'm trying to disguise what I'm playing. I'm not really worried about the aggression of his particular deck, even though Green Broly can be very aggressive when the right hand lines up. So I'm going to now draw, then use the other two in the hand, draw, and then I drew into another one, which allows me to again draw. So that sets me up for a turn 2 wish, and I pass it back to my opponent. So my opponent, tells me how many cards are in its hand. Let him go, and now he's wondering what exactly is going on. So he charges and he plays, I believe, a Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan, because he had plans on doing some hand control on the following turn. So he knew that usually if you're playing green, your opponent's going to side into Burrs, which I did. But honestly, Deborah has been underwhelming the entire evening for me. So I might actually try a different route as far as that goes, because I'm usually using my energy proactively, especially if I go first. So having the energy up doesn't really work. So anyway, on this turn, I now grab the last 2 Dragon Balls. And I do make a mistake on this turn. I was supposed to wish and then draw an additional card, but I didn't do it because, I was too busy. We were chopping it up pretty good, and we're just having a good old time. Plus, I didn't really feel like I was in any danger of messing up too badly, and that is the problem. So 1 drop, top 7. I'm going to grab my 4 drop piece, which is going to allow me to better go up the chain. And then I'm going to play that 4 drop that has barrier. That's key because even if he is able to awaken his turn, he will not be able to remove the chain due to the barrier on the 4 drop. Now, I'm not going to swing because there's really no reason to. I don't want to give him the additional card or anything. So I just pass it back to him. I'm at 7 life. I have good combo power in hand. So I'm not worried about just getting hit with like a chain of Broly stuff. So right here, he just makes a play of a Rosie after he charges. Thinks about this for a bit. He makes a Rosie. He's going to strip 2 cards from my hand, mainly because he doesn't really have much else going on. I felt kind of bad for him for that. So I discarded the Deborah that's in my hand, and I discard a Goku Negate because I didn't feel like I needed it, and it's not combo power because I know I'm going in the next turn. So there you go, the Deborah and the Goku Negate. So he's going to not swing on me, which was kind of interesting. But again, why give me cards, right? Especially if he's trying to play some form of hand control. So he's going to pass a turn back to me. And this is where the game kind of ends. So I'm going to draw, charge. Then I'm going to swing once with the 4 drop. And he's going to take that one because why wouldn't you? So then I evolve. I get rid of the Rosie. I draw a card. And then I'm going to swing 25 double strike crit to my opponent who's at 5 right now. So this will drop him from 5 to 3. And I'll put the super combo on it to make it 35. So at that number, you kind of just have to take it. Or else you're going to just lose most of your hand. And so he chooses to take it. He goes down to 3. And so I evolve. Restands. Then I swing 30 double strike crit dual attack barrier. And I put another super combo on it. Well, after he debates on whether or not he's negating. So I put another super combo on it. Draw a card. And now he's in a pretty bad spot because he needs to combo out of this one to have a chance, right? But little does he know, it really didn't really matter. So he does an Android 18 super combo. He awakens, so he puts himself to 25. He counted 2 cards on the table, 35, and then 2 cards in his hand to make it 45. Yep, here it is. Yep, 45. So he comboed out of that one. He restands. I wish now. I ult to Shenron and give my battle card plus 10k and triple attack. So now I'm swinging 40k. Double strike, crit, barrier with triple attack. So he is thinking. He has a dormant and he has a clones in the hand. But the problem with the dormant doesn't actually stop the attack, so he has to use the clones. So I swing again, and he realizes that dormant into blocker doesn't help him here. So he decides to just say no. Negates, no blocks. Because he basically know that it was writing on the wall. So I just went in. He can't, of course, match it, and that is game. So you see the explosiveness of the deck, and hopefully you enjoyed it.